Did you guys know that Mekazawa is still a robot?
I don't think they're never going to realize that he's a robot. Not one bit.
Now he's apparently a motorcycle.
All right, so this episode's called Road Safety. Some boys come to Mekazawa to seek help from their enemy Bass High. Once again, we don't know why they're the enemy. Since Mekazawa has a friend in Bass High, they hope that he will be able to help them out. But Mekazawa tells them that they have to clean up their own mess. Mekazawa heads out to play pachinko, but gets mistaken for a pachinko machine. He then gets some gas, but it's mistaken for a motorcycle. I'm going to stop there because we're going to... It's like the weird, like the meatiest plot summary.
I just love that as they're walking down the street, there's a sign that literally said Princess Peach.
Love it.
Oh, gosh.
Until in the beginning of the episode, they're shaking the locker. I've told you 2 times already, that is not me.
I think I like to call you my good friend, but to be clear, that's not me. What? Oh, Mekazawa. Oh, he has a drill.
Yes, that made me happy. I was like, all right, cool. I don't know if that's a Gurren Lagann reference, but I like it.
No, it's probably not, but it's funny because I thought about y'all and Gurren Lagann because of that.
I love how that is a stigma in everyone's mind when they think of you. I saw a drill in that thing.
Also, during the opening, this is the first time we get something that just says like, "Don't do this." It says, "Wear a helmet while riding a motorcycle," and which is odd because you don't hear that for. Like they don't change up the openings too much for this, even though you think this show would be the ideal candidate to troll and make fun of its own production values. Anyway, I love that he goes
after that when he crashes though. They're like, this wouldn't have happened if he would have had his helmet on.
It's full circle. And then of course he's mistaken for all sorts of machines. First, a pachinko machine. First of all, it says no one under 18 is allowed here. So I guess Mekazawa is older? Question
or
mark?
They didn't care about the age of the pachinko machine.
Probably.
And then it's just like, this machine's broken. I need you to fix it right now. Okay, sorry, sir. And he starts tinkering with Mekazawa, and he's like, you doof. I'm not him. It's like, oh. And then another guy's like poking his little card thing. He's like, well, I want to take my card.
Stop poking me with that thing.
Yeah, and then of course he goes to a gas station and then he's like, all right, fill him up. It's like, you fools, I'm not the motorcycle. And you could kind of tell this is a lighter weight episode because then they throw in Freddy looking at these instruments.
Was that a Wayne's World reference?
I
have to wonder if that's a Wayne's World reference because you have Wayne looking at all the guitars and then Garth tells them it's never going to happen, live in the now, and then they get in the car and then they sing Wayne's World. No, they sing Wayne's World and then end up at the guitar shop.
I think so.
They sing Bohemian Rhapsody, sorry.
Yeah, no, I know what you meant. No, it had to have been because otherwise there's no reason for those little moments. I mean, whatever. Cromartie doesn't care if there's a reason or not for its skits.
There's also just moments where it's like, we'll never be able to do this. We can't do the thing. And then for no reason, there's just a spotlight on Freddy holding cash up to the sky in the background.
Yeah, and then, Mekazawa gets turned into, does he actually have a nickname or is he just called Motorzawa?
Motorzawa.
I'm calling him Motorzawa.
And for once, there's actually a female character in this godforsaken show.
Wait, they exist?
Yeah.
One reappears in the second episode we talk about.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But it's just funny because this whole show is like, man, macho nonsense. And then
Bears.
Maeda's mom is just there, no lines. And here it's like, oh, she actually has a speaking voice. Wow. It's like when you watch one of those really trashy, like based off of a mobile game show, like anime where it's like all girls. And so it's like, you can get these girls in this mobile phone game that you can download. And then you're kind of sitting there with the world building, trying to put it together, and you're like, are there any guys? Not in a like, oh, I can't watch this, or there are no guys here. No, it's just like, no, what happened to them?
Yes, exactly.
So it's just weird to see this show. It say like, oh yeah, no, women exist in this show. Don't worry about it. And oh yeah, Motorzawa, the hero, the common writer of
That fucking ending.
oh, God. It's an anime music video from the early 2000s, fueled
And
by
then
LSD.
don't worry, you're not needed. I already took care of all of the bad guys.
Oh, hey, the police are here.
What
Just
they
seeing
arrest, what they arrest me for?
Yeah, he ends up getting arrested anyway with Motorzawa, and Motorzawa's just like, vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom.
Oh, gosh.
That's not how we operated before.
What the hell? It's funny, but yeah, this is again one of those episodes where it's like stretch the plot. But that does give us one of the best episodes of this whole show. Episode 13, the baseball episode. If it's not a beach episode, it's a baseball episode.
Yep. Tree.
Joshua Tree. The boys decide to play baseball in the woods. However, they soon somehow become lost and spend days there without any food. Will they find food in civilization? This is hands down one of my favorite episodes. Just super funny. The jokes are consistent. Just Hayashida being like, I want to travel here to play baseball, but I don't think I can do it. And then Kamiyama's just like, yes, you can. I believe in you. Wow. Thank you. But if that motivates you, then I'm going to keep on talking. Yeah. Maeda's just like, I don't mean to be a buzzkill, but do you even know how to play baseball? It's like, well, and Hayashida, being the knucklehead that he is just like, well, first of all, you have to shave your head. No, that's not one of the rules. You have to have a team of 9 people. And then they go into a debate about rules, and like rules are hold on, I wrote it down. Rules are a sad and empty way to live. Oh gosh. And then
Maeda can't add either.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they gather enough people, which is Gorilla, Freddy, Mekazawa's son or nephew, I forgot which one.
Brother.
Oh,
His
brother. And
the best part about that is they get there is like, and 2 of them aren't even human, and then Kameyama goes, yeah, but Freddy's more normal than everybody else we know. As if he's one of the non-humans.
And then Maeda's just like, listen, it's like, you got all these people, but I'm only counting 7. And then Hayashida's just like, well, aren't you you're not counting yourself? Like 1, 2, 3. I told you I didn't want to play baseball.
We'll get 9. Well, who are you gonna get to 9? Maeda's mom.
Poor Maeda. He's a butt of every joke in this whole show. Just the punching bag that keeps on giving.
I think this episode he's kind of one of my favorites because he just has the best lines, and everyone else is just like a total dunce in front of him.
He's the straight man dealing with like the Looney Tunes characters. That's what it is. And then they're like, okay, but we don't have enough money to get baseball equipment, so we have to find our own way to get our equipment. And then of course our esteem Takeshi Hokuto is just like, why don't we just use wooden swords? They're kind of like baseballs. And then they're like, yeah, we're gonna get our own equipment and go play baseball. They get sent to jail because they look like a bunch of rioters.
They didn't believe us that we were just going to play baseball. They had masks on.
They have masks on, had little helmets, wooden swords. Freddy has like a little like trumpet thing. And then they find themselves lost in the woods.
My favorite part about this is that they get a dumb version of the SpongeBob narrator. Then 5 hours later.
Oh my god, the narrator makes this episode.
Oh gosh. And then they're just like lost. And let's see, I got the word. Okay, so 2 days ago. And then Maeda and Hayashida kind of get into a fight with one another, and then they're like, "Don't worry, we'll make it. I think there's still a can, like a mackerel can around here." And then it's just like, "Well, does anybody have a can opener?" And then Maeda's just like, "Well, of course I do." And then
just trust me more.
yeah, trust me. And then Takeshi's just like, "You always see on TV that people have canned mackerel, but there's no way to open it." Just out of the blue, it's like, okay, sure. It's like some kind of it's like one of those like things in commercials where it's just like they're like, "Oh man, you guys are too incompetent to exist. Here, get this Tupperware that you can order to keep all your worries away."
You just can't get these dishes put away.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that. And then it turns out he's like, "Yeah," because like, and he's opening the can, and they're like, "Maeda, that's not a can. It's opening up." Because that was brother. The jokes come at this fast, and then they're like, "Oh no." They're all sitting in a circle. "We don't know what to do. We're going to starve out here." Freddy goes off on his own adventure, finds a random ramen joint out in the middle of nowhere, which makes me hope my package of Shin Ramen comes in soon. He eats, dines there. The people there say he's been eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner here for the past 3 days. You wonder where he lives. Where's this place?
Somewhere near Joshua Tree.
And then he's like, he goes back, like crawls up goes back to the grass, goes up the mountain, cross the bridge, goes back, and they're like, "Oh no, we're doomed." And he's like, doesn't say anything, and they're starving, and then they're like, "Fish cake." Oh gosh.
Then
These
Yoshida is
characters
like,
are so dumb.
I was looking for a baseball, and then this kind young man, I saw it over the fence right next to a ramen shop.
Oh yeah, so Hayashida comes back, has a bunch of food, and then Kamiyama's just like, "Man, this is great, but one thing, you forgot hot water."
Yes.
And then and then like, oh, what happened? Oh yeah, so then they're just kind of like sitting there moping. They're like, "Man, we're doomed. We're never going to get out of here." And then Kamiyama's just like to Hayashida, "Well, don't worry, because our main goal here was that we'd make a baseball, like get out here and learn to play baseball." Hayashida has a like sudden realization. "Whoa, that's what I remember now. We're going to make a baseball team." Just like they forgot.
Bunch of idiots.
And then they play baseball. Freddy hits it over like way out of bounds. And they're like, "Oh no." Then Hayashida goes the same way Freddy goes. He's like, there's someone else there. Gets up there. "Hey, can you get that baseball?" "Well, sure." And then goes back. They're just like, "Why didn't you go for help?" Then Hayashida's like, it's like, "Now I remember. Sorry, I forgot." Maeda's just like, "Of course you did." Just holding back every urge to not want to kill him. Then the gorilla is just like, takes lead, and they're like, "Oh, the gorilla's going to help us." Yeah, he's climbing the trees and looking around, just like any useful monkey. And it's like, there's a difference. Okay.
That's not our gorilla.
Oh God, yeah, they're like, "Lights from a city." "Yeah, thank you, man. Like for being helpful and finding our way out of this forest." And it's like, "Whoa, it's a female gorilla. What happened to ours?" And then during the credits, it says, "Oh yeah, the previous gorilla got lost." This is like along with that one episode that we talked about where it's just like, so you want to see something that makes you laugh episode. Like these are like the episodes I would show people of like what Cromartie High is.
Mhm.
It's just nonsense on top of nonsense, and I love it.
Yeah, episodes like this are great because unlike the last one where it is kind of one note, this one piles on like five different layers of jokes, all from like a single scenario.
Oh gosh, no, it's just fun.
Mhm.
Like I know I was like, "Man, are we getting tired of this?" It's like, no, not with this episode. But I know the next one is a what's his name? A Yamaguchi focus episode, so we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah.
I think they're getting to that point where they're running a little bit out of steam, but they're just going to go rolling on through, no matter if the car's on fire. So.
In fact, they probably don't even know the car is burning.
They'd be more concerned with Hakuchi getting motion sickness. All right, Cam, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/CamsEyeView or at CamsEyeView. As long as that happens, then I'm also on. I have my own website called CamsEyeView.biz where I review animated films and shows from around the world called The Other Side of Animation. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/CamsEyeView. I am also the co-host of the Renegade Animation Podcast on RenegadePopCulture.com.
All right, Mike, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on a social media platform at Captain K42.
I really want you to get on Hive, and then someone else somehow got Captain K42 before you did.
Oh, God.
Don't worry, we're good on that front. You guys can find my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/Coach K42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Red Pop Culture. You can find us on YouTube, on Podchaser, on the Banana Meter. Listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
And you can find me everywhere on Organoid Zero that isn't on fire. So you can find me until next time. We'll see you all later.